have hope for the future and faith that the efforts the Baha'i community are putting forth will truly bring rise to a better generation, where the betterment of the world will surely be established. If I had a program growing up like the Junior Spiritual Empowerment Program, I know my life would have been on a righteous path a lot sooner.
My name is Michael Sanches. I currently live in Washington, D.C., and I'm serving full-time with the Community for the Baha'i Faith. Before, I studied with a pharmacy technician course, but I want to get into education and focusing on special needs. Some of my hobbies include cycling, hiking, and playing the guitar. I was born in 1995 on the south side of Chicago, raised by a single mother who had a great team with my grandparents and my uncle. Spent a lot of time learning about what it really means to appreciate what we have, even when it's as little as we have. Being raised on the south side, it was very industrialized where I was. A lot of my friends were, close neighbors, and we would explore the old industries. I wasn't a very studious child. I was very easily distracted in classes and found that my best way to learn was more hands-on. And luckily I had an uncle who was very patient with me, with always re-explaining things and helping me get through my studies. My grandma is a very interesting individual. I like to say that she's of the hippie era. She's very free-spirited, always encouraged me to appreciate music, different genres. She would always take me out to live concerts. She even took me to my first concert when I was 7, which was a great experience. We went to go see David Bowie. I was excited, almost overwhelmed. We didn't have the best seats, but we got to see everything. And her and I were dancing in the aisles and just enjoying ourselves. So school was kind of hard for me. It took a while for things to click in my head. Reading was a big one. I was always behind, and I really didn't get into the flow of reading properly until high school. Maths and science, that stuck with me, and that was a good motivator to continue and really focus on school whenever I could. But I found myself frustrated with a lot of reading. Being asked to read out loud or in front of people was really nerve-wracking. My mom, she was always doing her best. For the early part of my childhood, she stayed home, really focused on raising me and taking care of me, would volunteer at my school to be with me as much as possible. She was always struggling really with work or finances, but she always showed me all the love as possible. Teenage years were very rebellious and experimental. When I was in high school, I lived with my uncle to be closer to school. Actually, in high school, I went to a military academy for all 4 years, voluntarily. It was something I thought I needed to develop discipline later in life. For quite a while still, I was messing around, hanging out with like the rough kids, and getting into that scene of high school parties and underage drinking. At 16, I lived alone for the rest of high school, and that independence and freedom, at first I took it for granted, and I was sort of off the rails. There was a good year of schooling where I really dropped in my grades and my rank, but really kicked myself into gear and got back to it, and still was just exploring how I felt I should, or I wanted to live. Also during this time, I found a belief system called the Wicca, where it's very spiritualistic, oriented around nature, and like providing a connection between us, like humans, and the natural world and the spiritual world. That really like sat with me in a positive way. After starting to practice Wicca, I became a lot more healthy, physically, spiritually, mentally. I was able to break out of a bad part in my life where I was depressed and constantly in my own head. There were different meditation techniques that I practiced, different rituals and spells. It sounds funny to say now, but at the time it was very serious for me. I was able to follow the rules when I needed to, when it was required of me. And then I was rebellious to my family more so, and like what they wanted for me. I sought out different ways to just seek very material like pleasure, and it was either through alcohol or drugs at the time. After practicing Wicca, after leaving high school, I moved out of the city. I went to the suburbs, so this way I can be closer to my dad's side of the family. I definitely became closer with my aunts and my cousins. In the suburbs, it was still more of recreational pleasures, and I became kind of stagnant, complacent, and comfortable, and I felt that I needed to keep moving. I remember just waking up in bed, looking at my side table that was just covered in drug paraphernalia and like a half-empty bottle of beer that I drank before the night before, and I was just disgusted with myself. I told myself that I needed a new scenery. So a week later, I was in Indiana on a small farm, and just to experience that silence and try to be further away from the temptations of the drugs and alcohol. My cousin has a way of getting me back, and so after maybe about 6 months of being out there, I moved back with him. Almost fell back into the same rhythms. At that time I was like, okay, maybe if I'm moderate with what I'm doing, then I'll be fine. So I controlled my intake, I controlled my impulses, just keeping it minimal and still enjoying myself, still enjoying my time with him. I had a bit of a downward spiral mentally, and I attempted suicide, and that day I was just tired of not being able to feel like I was helping anybody. I was tired of feeling like a disappointment, feeling like I hurt people more than I can uplift. And I took a whole bottle of sleeping pills, and I had a good 4-hour nap. Woke up a little disappointed, but then I collected myself and put into motion a cross-country move. And 10 days later, I was in Virginia. I was very shut off, and the people that wanted to have like this healthy relationship with me were just constantly being let down, like under expectations were never fulfilled. Even now, I'm working on being able to have a healthy relationship where there's reciprocity and communication. When I moved out here, I stopped doing drugs, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking. After about a year of living out here, I started working in DC at the pet store. And a very, very vibrant, radiant young lady came up to me when I was assisting a customer. And there was like an immediate connection. We started talking about about what we were doing in life, about spirituality very quickly. I explained to her, what I practice with Wicca. She said that she was a Baha'i, and I remember hearing about the Baha'i faith a while back when I was younger, but I never looked into it. And so I took my lunch break. We went next door, got some pizza, and talked over lunch about our beliefs. I just needed to know more. I knew there was more to learn. So she invited me to a few activities. At the time, it was the bicentenary of the Bab, and I was unable to attend it. Unfortunately, work used to consume me. I would put in like 70 hours a week. The first activity or first thing I was actually able to join her at was a study circle for the Ruhi book, book 7. And I sat in, listened to the concepts that they were discussing, and I was just like, this is really meaningful. This is life-changing. This was probably in late November, and then after the first week of December, I quit my job, and I was like, all right, I'm yours, so let me take me where you want to take me. And I started attending youth gatherings in the area. I met so many great people. Like, attending my first Baha'i youth gathering, there was a sincerity and just the most welcoming environment that I've ever attended. As soon as I walked through the door, like, everyone was there basically with open arms, and it melted away like this protection that I had over my heart. They then said that they had a retreat that they were going on in a few weeks, a spiritual retreat to study more of these concepts. And I was like, all right, I'm in. I I'm totally, totally going to be invested in this. We went 10 days out in Maryland. There was a large group of us, and I studied the first Ruhi book, Reflection on the Life of the Spirit, and just reading these small excerpts from the writings of Baha'u'llah touched me in a way that I've never felt before. You know, reflecting with these individuals during our study circles, during our lunch or dinner discussions, everything was meaningful. Everything had purpose. I was scared at, a little bit to accept myself as like thinking, okay, I think I'm Baha'i, because I didn't want to let go of what I had before. But at the end of completing the study of Book 1, I reflected for a little while. I had this moment with one of the other participants. I did a guided meditation with him, and after the meditation, I didn't plan it. I didn't think of what I was going to say, but everything that came out was, I felt connected to Baha'u'llah. I felt more connected to God than I ever did at that moment. When we got back, I decided that's when it was right for me to dedicate a period of service. So since January, I've been serving full-time as a children's class teacher, aiding with the movement of youth within the Columbia Heights, Petworth neighborhood, and anywhere else in any way I can. I'm blessed to have a very supportive mom who she doesn't really second guess any of my decisions. She's just like, all right, this is what you decided, so whatever you need help with, I'm here. Your stepdad's here. Being focused on service just fills my heart with joy every day. And sometimes it's hard, and especially this year being so unique. I couldn't be happier. I've met so many great people. It's just been an experience.
It doesn't matter what happened in the past. If your heart is searching, the truth will come to you like a breeze.